Okay guys, quick update with Bitcoin. So 2 videos back, I told you, I said I was bullish above 100K, but that we would push up and soon all markets would drop, including Bitcoin. And I said your next major support level to go long was 94,700. I am currently long from that point. That was this video here. This was 6 days ago. I'll put a link up to it now. This is 8 minutes and 42 seconds in. I mentioned these green lines. These are our major support levels. So if we break below, the next point to catch a bounce is 94,692. Remember, this is an upward angle. Price depends on when you make contact. I said your next point to catch a bounce will be around 94,700, right around this area. In Discord, I made a post letting everybody know. I said if we get any kind of bounce, it will be from here, although it could be short-lived. So the point is I'm going to show you the levels above to pay attention to. So if you're long, a point to take profit, or if we get above, to hold that long. That's the point of this video. And as you can see it here, I said chancing a long here. Let's see what happens. I opened my long. I was up $939. I'm still in that trade currently. And you see we're holding above, so I'm going to give you these levels above to pay attention to. Now, how long you stay in the trade, again, knowing when to get out, just as much of a gamble as when to get in. But there's other factors here. This is a key support level we held. That's why I went long. But we also have the Dow that's currently at support. And remember, Bitcoin follows the indices. So currently, you can see I'm in my trade. I used $4,000 margin at 40x, and I'm currently up 3,000. I was up around 3,500. We dropped a little bit. So again, I am long from this point. If we drop below this point, I'll close my long and go short, because if we break below this level, that's it. That means that head and shoulder is going to play out, and we're headed to that target I gave you in that previous video, which is around, I think it was around 88,000, maybe 81,000. It's pretty low, and we'll measure that distance again. But again, I'm in my long. I'm going to hold this long. And the point of this video is to show you where to potentially take profit, or if we hold above a certain level, maybe add to that long and see how high this will go. But again, we need to cover the Dow as well. By the way, guys, you want to get into leverage trading, CoinCatch, this is what I'm using right now. Look, I trust their exchange. I think they're a great exchange. No KYC, no VPN. They have some specials going on. I'll put a link up to this events page now if you want to check it out. Remember, all these links will be pinned in the first comment in the description. If you deposit 1,000 USDT, you can get 5,000 USDT back on top of that. So that's $6,000 margin. That's 30 slots every 7 days. If you deposit 500, you get 1,250 back. So that's 1,750 margin. That's 300 slots every 7 days. There's only 16 days left, guys, to take advantage of it. If you can also get trading bonuses on top of your deposit bonus. You need to use my sign up link. I'll put a link up to that now. Once you sign up, you'll need to go to that events page. Again, all these links pinned in the first comment description. Click on join, then that'll make you part of that special. If you do want to, look, if you're new to trading with leverage, do watch this video. Even if you use another exchange, I do cover a lot of things, difference between isolated and cross, limit order, trigger order, market price, limit price. These are really important things to know. Entering a trade with a stop loss before you enter your trade. So do check out this tutorial video. Again, even if you trade on different exchanges, but especially if you're learning how to trade on CoinCatch, link this video now if you want to check it out. And remember, guys, you can always access my charts and Discord anytime. If you want to sign up, you can't pay the USDT, make sure you email me through the website. And once you sign up, make sure you contact me through the contact page so I can give you a Discord invite link. And I do have tutorials teaching my charting method. So let's just jump into this, guys. So again, I told you this was a key level. I'll show you why this is a key level again. And we need to cover the Dow. So again, I told everyone it was this is the post I made about time short the Dow. I showed you in that previous video, the previous 2 videos, why the percentage matched that previous cycle. We were topped out. You can clearly see the support level. All you do is you just bring it up. You can tell, well, it matches resistance. So that was a potential top. That's why I said it was time to short the Dow, short the indices. And then I explained why I went long. You can see the Dow is now at support though, right? We're at support with the Dow. That means the NASDAQ, the S&P is pushing up, even NVIDIA is pushing up. and we are at a key support level. So I would stay long with your stop below 94,700. Obviously, you're entering now. Well, we could drop back to 94,700, so that's a little risky. So I'll show you other charts where you might want to enter if we drop. So again, we're at support with the Dow. So let's talk about this. So in the last video, I talked about possible head and shoulders, and I told you market makers want to trap people. So if we look at this, this was potentially a left shoulder, a head, and a funky right shoulder. Well, for us to drop, and I was trying to decide which was the neckline, but I said if we get a daily open below this point, expect some downside. So if you measure from just that green line and you say that's the neckline, your potential target would be around, that's about 88,500. If this is the neckline and we continue down, because this is possible, this could be the neckline with a funky right shoulder, that'd bring you down to around 83K. But market makers want to trap you, and we did have a key level, so that's why I said, and that's why I went long at 94,700. So points to watch, okay? So look, if we push up, and I showed you why this level is so important. This has been support going all the way back to August 4th, 2024. Support here, support here, support here. And we broke below it, okay? So that was a key level we broke. And I mentioned this was a key support level, right? A lot of support and resistance through here and right here. And we found support here. That's why I was temporarily bullish for 100K. But once the markets start dropping, that's why I said the Dow, the NASDAQ, the S&P were about to drop. And I said if we break below, right? If we break below those key trend lines, which we did, those macro trend lines, if we push up, well, now that's going to be your resistance. So if we push up a point to potentially take profit on your long, again, like I said, short-lived, it's going to be around 97,500. However, if we push up to 97,500 and get a daily open above that point, right? Get a daily open above, will then be long up to your next resistance level, which is going to be up around, and there's a lot of resistance here, guys. And multiple charts show this. Not only do we have the trend line, this green trend line right here that I just showed you, we also have this is a fib line. These are very important levels. Make this white so you can see it. That is a very key level. So that means if we push up, all right, pay attention to 100,300 to 100,600. You get a daily open above that, well, then we're going much higher, guys. And we're looking at targets up around 104,000, and then if we get above that, well, your next target above is going to be around 107,500. But your first level to watch is going to be around 97,500. Your most key support level now is 94,700. If that breaks, then as I mentioned, that head and shoulders will more than likely play out. And I'm trying not to repeat myself. I just want to make sure you understand what I'm looking at. So we did break down from this. This right here was the last possible area I had for a neckline, and we broke that. So if we get above this, so if let's just match this. So let's look at this level here. So this right here is 97,200. Okay, so this right here, the same daily candles, 97,400. So that's a level to watch. But remember what I said, watch for a daily open above or below. Below 97,500 would be bearish. Above 97,500 would be bullish. But that is pretty on par with this level here. The bottom, this little gray line, this the neckline that was support. So we get a daily open above 97,300, 97,500. That's bullish. That means this could have been a fake out wick below. Plus we're at support, and the indices are at support. So that's your first level to watch. That next neckline above is going to be around 100 and, depending on when you make contact, 103,000. And let's go back and look for confluence. So, well, that would be up around 104,000. I don't have much confluence for that, but there's a lot of confluence right here. So if you push up to 100,500, and let's say you're using a lot of margin, high leverage, you might want to take your profit around 100,500. But if we push above that and daily open above that, then hold your long and ride it up. But I'm just giving you key levels, what to pay attention to. But your first level to pay attention to, 97,500. But again, if the Dow is at support and the Dow is pushing up, we're at support of Bitcoin, no reason not to be long. And again, you can see here, So just pay this. This is going to be a key level because this, you can see how well we held this as this is a resistance, support, support, resistance. So that will be resistance again. And I remember that last video, I said we moved down this ring. And I said when we cross this ring, expect a lot of downside. This does not mean we cannot get bounces on the way down. But we are approaching this next ring, so it's very possible we're going to have a lot more downside. But like I said, you can scalp longs on the way down. Just further confluence why I'm long. This is the H1 chart. We're holding support, so 95,600 is your current support level. Your next resistance level above is going to be around potentially 101,220. Your next fib line, now this is the most important level, so this would be around 105,200. Again, these are the fib lines right here. So these are the levels, the most important levels. The yellow line is just a trend line. Let's see what this next level is below down here. That's around 87,000. And that could be potentially the target for the head and shoulders to play out. And you can see here, I mentioned this in Discord. So currently your support level in the 30-minute is around 95,800. So if we break below 95,800, that becomes resistance. Well, then you might want to consider paying attention to see if it's possibility we break below. Again, once we break below 94,700, it's more than likely that head and shoulders will play out. But on the smaller time frame, you have your target. 95,800 is your current support. If we hold that, stay long. If you hit that level, that might be a nice point to enter a long. Your next resistance level above is around 98,126. Your next key resistance level above is around 103,500. So we got some confluence there. So up to 103,600 to 103,000, let's say 104,000. So a lot of resistance around that area. Your next support level below is right around 93,600. So if you wanted to stay in along from this point, and let's say we had a wick below, I would pay attention to that level around 94,000 to 93,600. We could wick down, catch a bounce there, and push up. But always follow the markets, guys. If the markets hold support and you're at a key support level with Bitcoin, that's why you chance a long. But these are your key levels to decide if you want to take profit on your long, or if you want to wait and see if you get a daily open above or below. That's usually how I play it. Daily open below this would be bearish in most cases. Daily open above would be bullish. Let's see. This is just another, and this is what I was talking about in the previous video, why the 108,500 was a key resistance level. You know, this was our support, you know, around 101K. Now that's going to be resistance, 101,500. Pay attention to that. And as I said, you know, if we dip below, I mentioned, you know, 103,000 to potentially 103,500, 104,000 is going to be key support. You can see this green fib line here, or it's just a trend line. So we could wick down to that point, but for right now, things look bullish. I got some stuff I got to do, guys. That's why I'm kind of rushing this video. But again, I'm long from 94,700. If we get below that, then I expect us to drop way down, 88,000, 83,000, wherever those targets are for those head and shoulders. Let me go through this one more time and make sure you have all your key levels. There was one chart. So the H1 chart, 95,600. Pay attention to that. If we come back down to that point, that might be a good point to long. If we hold as resistance below that point, then you might be looking for a point to short. The H1 chart, 95,800, that's your current support. Your next resistance, again, this is 30 minutes, around 98,175. But again, guys, just pay attention. This is the most important level. If we break below 94,700 with a daily open, then, as I said, this head and shoulders, if I can find that chart, then I believe that this head and shoulders, whether it's from the green line as the neckline or the gray line, then I do believe that we're coming down to test those lower targets. And as I said, this is that third cycle. So once we cross this red ring, while yes, we could push up, we just broke out of a huge rising wedge. So yes, we will get pumps along the way, but I will be taking profit soon on this long. I'm not expecting us to put a new all-time high or to go that high on this. I'm just scalping along before I enter my next short. I just want you to have those targets. So pay attention, see if you get daily open above 97,300, 97,600. You have the targets, guys. Get access to the charts. You can load all these charts up and just watch them play out live on your phone or your computer or whatnot. But again, guys, when you get lever shading, check out CoinCatch. Again, 15 days, now 15 days left. Again, all these links will be pinned in the first comment description. Guys, good luck. I will keep you updated. You have your key levels. Until the next video, that's it. I'm out.